Ooh, Lily. Oh, oh. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a good day or evening or night, wherever you are. Um, I'm happy. I just had somebody take care of my front yard. I'm just so happy. Can't do that kind of hard work anymore. But yeah, so, and welcome to my channel, to this video. And please like, subscribe, and comment, because it does help me, and I appreciate that. Yeah, today I wanted to talk about a broken heart and the seriousness of it. I was watching a video last night of this girl whose dog died, and she said she just can't get over the pain because that dog was her everything. And I certainly understand that. I certainly do. I know that when my dogs, when I had to put them down, or they just died on their own, it was devastating. It was truly devastating. I could actually feel my heart hurt. I could feel it hurt. And I remember reading a story a couple years ago about a woman who was hospitalized after her husband died because she couldn't get over the grief. She could not get past the grief, and they found that it was affecting her heart. So it's a very for real thing. Anybody who says it's not, they don't understand. It is a real thing. Because I know, like when my sister died suddenly, unexpected, and my brother, I'll never forget that pain. I remember feeling my heart actually hurting, truly hurting. I could feel it right there. I could just feel it. It was like hurting desperately. And they have found, the medical world and science has found that a broken heart can lead to some serious complications. It can even lead to a heart attack, or a long-term damage to the heart with grief. That is well known now. And I'm sure some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. If someone you love very much or your little pet dies, it hurts. It hurts a lot. And you can actually feel it. You can actually feel that kind of hurt. And people who say, oh, how I've read comments on videos of people who are crying over the loss of their pet. And I see some cruel comments like, oh my God, it was just a dog, it was just a cat, it was just a bird, oh, that's ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. Well, those people are heartless and cruel. No, Lily. Those people are heartless and cruel and don't understand the love that you can have for a pet, the companionship, the closeness. They don't understand it. And when I read comments like that, I'm like, God, how heartless and cold and horrible a human being can you be to criticize somebody for being brokenhearted over losing their pet. Pets mean the world to us, pet lovers. They mean the world to us. And when I think of the pain of my last God, what, 3, 4, 5 dogs that passed, it was very painful. It was extremely painful. I was very lucky that my son Nathan was with me as I went through those. I'll start with Scamper, and then Elvira, and Capone, and Kitty, and Whisper, another dog. He was with me for all those deaths, thank goodness, because he was very comforting. He really understood the pain I was going through when I lost those dogs. So yeah, it's a very serious issue, and it doesn't have to be over anything dramatic like an unexpected death or even a planned death. If somebody knows they're going to die in a month or two, who's left behind can be totally brokenhearted. And it doesn't even have to be over a death. It can be a breakup. You break up with somebody, or someone breaks up with you that you truly loved. I mean, you truly loved that person, and then they don't want you anymore, and they just ditch you, divorce you, whatever. that can lead to a totally broken heart too. I mean, really broken heart. Like I say, it doesn't have to be anything major. Well, a breakup of somebody you love, if they ditch you, that is major. But you know what I mean, like in terms of a sudden death, or your husband dies from something terrible, or your wife, or whatever. It's all terrible. And it really can affect your heart and your entire health. I know when my sister and brother and my mother and father died, those of you that experience it know what I'm talking about. It's actually a pain. You actually feel a pain in your heart, and that goes to show you how much your heart is associated with any emotions you're having, good, bad, happy, sad. Because think about when something really happy happens in your life that makes you very happy. You feel elated in your heart. It's like, oh, you feel it in your heart, the happiness. And when something happens that's devastating, boy, do you feel that in your heart. I remember after my brother was murdered, I don't remember anything past the time that I was told that he had been killed. I don't remember anything. All I remember is that I felt this when we were initially told. My then husband and I and my kids were home, and my brother's wife and a niece came over to tell me that he had been shot and killed. All I remember from that moment is running to the phone, or no, my husband wasn't home. I called him, and all I remember is going to the phone to call him to tell him what happened, and this weird pain. It was a weird, I don't even know how to explain it. Just it was a sharp pain. I felt it in my heart, and this is going back to 2001 when I was much younger. I remember that pain. It's like my heart almost seized up for a moment now, and it was that feeling of it was a horrific feeling. So I guess from what I've read, I've been pretty lucky over the unexpected death of my sister, my brother, my father, my mother. I guess I've been very lucky that my heart has held out. Maybe those of you who have experienced something that caused that kind of pain in your heart, you know how it feels, and you know how scary it can actually feel, because I actually felt like something was going wrong with my heart in those times of pain. And that's including the people in my life, the pets in my life. I remember it actually felt like, it felt like something just got in there and squeezed my heart, and it hurt. It actually hurt. It was a terrible feeling. Put down in the comments anything you've experienced like that in terms of heart pain. And some of the studies that I read about, oh my goodness, they're finding that grief can cause not only heart issues, but it can cause prolonged and possibly permanent mental damage, because you can't process it. You just can't cope with it. So it just messes you up in one way or another. Not that it sends you into being a crazy person, but that you can't cope with life. You've changed how your life is, how you live your life so much that it's kind of not normal, because you're so wrapped in grief. And I understand that. Grief can take quite a toll on you. I remember when my brother was killed, he was born on the 4th of July. And for years after that, on the 4th of July, it was very difficult. I would feel that funny pain, that funny feeling in my heart, because it's been since 2001. But I would feel that funny thing in my heart when the 4th of July would come. It doesn't happen anymore, thank goodness. But it hurt, and I would cry. And I remember it was only 2 years after he had been killed on the 4th of July, I got that funny thing in my heart. And I went to the front porch I had to cry. And my then husband, that I was with for 22 years, he came out to the front porch, and it's not like I was bawling like, oh, you know, it was just one of those where the tears are rolling down your eyes, right, down your face. Because every time the fireworks would start, all I could think of was my brother, and my heart would hurt, and I would cry. My then husband came to the front porch, looked at me, and said, "Oh, for God's sake, get over it. It's been a couple of years." I can't even begin to tell you how much that hurt my heart. Oh my God, did that hurt my heart. I looked up at him totally shocked, and I looked at him and I remember saying, "I'm sorry, but my heart is hurting. I miss my brother." And he goes, "You really need to get over it." Yeah. That did not help the hurting heart, let me tell you. Did not help at all. And I know there are a lot of people out there who are experiencing some kind of heart pain and hurt and grief. And some people will make you feel bad for it, because there's no timeline for grief. You know, there's no, oh, well, it's already been 2 months, it's already been 5 years, it's been 10 years, you need to get over your grief. No. Grief can last a lifetime, actually. It just lessens in the way to where you're not just breaking out bawling and crying every time you think of the person or the pet, whatever. It can last a lifetime. And in my view, it does last a lifetime. You just learn to cope with it better. I don't think you ever really get over grieving the loss of somebody, whether it be through death or, like I said, a breakup, or, you know, something of that nature, of a human or a pet. A grief can last. I've got a viewer right now, her name is Tea with Debbie, and she was telling me that to this day she still cries because she had to get rid of her dog because of where she had to move to. They didn't accept pets anymore. And she still cries to this day. And I certainly understand that, Tea with Debbie. Believe me, there are times I still think of dogs that I had back when I was a kid in school, or after I was out of school and married and divorced and all that, and I will think of those dogs, and it will make my eyes tear because of the love I had for them. It will make my eyes tear, and we're going back decades, but that hurt is still, I think there's like a little chamber in our hearts that hold that little bit of hurt, but it learns to cope with it better over time. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes people completely lose it because their grief is so severe over that human or pet loss. It's just the nature of the beast when it comes to our hearts. The pain you feel when you lose somebody, depending on somebody you really loved, and somebody that was good to you, somebody that made you feel good in one way or another, as adults, or whenever it is they pass. You could be a child at home and have your brother or sister die for whatever reason. That will affect that younger person for life. It's amazing what happens to us, what happens to our heart, how we feel, how we definitely feel pain in our heart. And it's a serious thing. People that seem to be perfectly healthy end up in the hospital because of a broken heart, literally because of a broken heart. So it's a real thing, guys, and if you know somebody who's going through a lot of grief over whatever, and they're hurting and they're really suffering from it, or if they bring it up occasionally, like, oh gosh, I still miss my mom, or I still miss my dad, don't brush it off as, well, you're so lucky you had him for so long. That's not what that person needs at that time. They need someone to acknowledge that at that moment, maybe they're hurting a little bit. And I'm not talking about somebody who never stops talking about someone who has died, because that's a different story. I'm just talking about the person who might maybe tear up over their lost human or pet for a moment. Comfort them. Make them feel that you understand. Don't make them feel like, oh, well, gosh, you had that dog for 16 years, you should be happy. No, They're feeling pain for the loss of that dog or that person. Comfort them. You know what I mean? So anyway, guys, I just wanted to hit on that topic because it is a for real thing, and people can get very sick and even die from a broken heart, or have a heart attack from it. It's that real. So anyway, guys, just wanted to share that with you. Let me know in the comments of any heart pains you felt and for what reason. It helps others that read your comments not to feel so alone in their heart pain. So anyway, take care and get out there and show compassion, caring, respect, and love, okay? It's free to do that. Take care, everybody. I will see you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Oh, what is that? Oh, it's a grasshopper on my couch. Oh my God. Oh, the camera.